Hello, and welcome back to the Fresh Finds podcast. I'm Ryan, and joining me this episode are Jeremiah and Xavier of the California band Virtual Nobodies. How are we doing, guys? Welcome to the show.
What's going on?
What's up, brother? Thanks for having us.
Happy to have you guys on. Before we get too much deeper, can you guys each introduce yourselves a little bit so people who aren't watching and are just listening can put a name to the voice and just kind of introduce yourself and what you do in the band?
Cool. I'm Xavier Valdez, singer-songwriter, accompanied by my friend right here. We're both bass players, but we switch off bass and guitar depending on the song. We're from Newbury Park locals, but singer-songwriter, and
and I'm the friend. I'm Jeremiah Gray, the other half of Virtual Nobodies, and it's super cool to be doing this. And we fight over the bass. Actually, we're both bass players and kind of ass guitar players. So
that's so funny. It's usually the opposite way around, where it's like two guitar players, and it's like, well, I guess I'll play the bass. But
we're strong number twos, man. We're both like the two sidekicks who are somehow both front and center figuring it out.
Well, and the interesting thing is you guys actually just led into one of the first things that I was going to ask about, which is that the first song that you guys officially put out, or at least that I could find on streaming, it was featuring you as opposed to just being like a member of the band. So that was something that I thought was interesting. I was curious about like how the project came together as a whole, and like were you originally not going to be a core member of the band and then you just kind of fell into it, or how did all of that come to be?
I think the idea was that we were going to do this sort of as more of a side project. So I think there was an idea of like, if we both had our names there, somebody could look my name up or somebody could look his name up. And then eventually, like once the song was out, the first song we put out, Just So You Know, we came to an agreement that is, I think it looked way better if it was just a strong unit. Instead of just like this complicated something you didn't need.
Yeah, essentially we were both like solo artists. He had been doing it for longer than I had. Again, both bass players, so we played with different groups in our county. And I don't know. He was like, I felt like I was on an episode of The Freaking Bachelor trying to play with this dude. Everybody wanted to play with him, and nobody wanted to play with me. I don't know, something about my vibe.
Eventually, he gave you the ring. That's how The Bachelor goes, right?
I just played hard to get, and I won.
Well, it was funny. At the time, I was being like kind of led by these two producers, and then they ended up being busy for different reasons. So Jeremiah ended up, he wasn't going to stop. And that's what I like, just really, really value about him. So he asked me to play guitar and his solo project, and I had all this free time anyway.
Sure.
And then I just realized when we were playing some of his shows, like, oh my God, we sound good harmonizing, we sound good playing together. And I think it was fun that I had brought it to him, like, what if we did like a show here? Why don't we just do Virtual Nobodies here? Actually, this venue called Aviator Nation. We dreamt up a big show that we could eventually play there. And we're playing there next month. It's in Malibu.
Oh, nice.
So we kind of just came to that agreement. Let's really take this thing head on with each other.
Yeah, and to Xavier's credit, I mean, we played one show where I got him on. I just wanted to play. I think him too. He had, again, all these kind of cats around him, but if you're in the music world, stuff can move really slow. Egos get involved.
For sure.
I think we just wanted to write music and play, and time is of the essence for sure. Like, it's a hustle trying to book shows and get music out. And he sent me this demo. That's our very first song that you're referencing, Just So You Know, that has both of our names on it. And he was like, I was just gonna kind of toss it, and I just was like, this is an insane riff. Like, this is such a cool tune. And so that was our first time just sitting down, sculpting a song together. It was really like, I think we used this garbage microphone for the vocals. We like went and retracked stuff, and it
DIY as hell. That's sick.
Dude, we started retracking it, and it lost all the vibes. So we were like, let's just keep it. And And so that was how it started,
that's
man.
such a thing, though, isn't it? Where like sometimes the demo, even if it's not as good of a recording, there's like something about the vibe of the performance or whatever that it's like, if you can't get that right the second time, then like what's the point of re-recording it?
Yeah,
totally, man. And that's been his strength so much, is like he really has creates such a cool vibe with his production, and it doesn't need a lot. And so some of the other cats maybe he's worked with or whatever, like, no shame, like, but like when you move away from like what's really just and it might not be the most glamorous mics and plugins and whatever, you kind of lose that authenticity. So this project started by just like us kind of teaming up on a lot of his initial production ideas. We did that one. We're like, this is being very well received. It's a great tune. How can we not see what else is?
Yeah, exactly.
And what were you guys doing with your solo projects before? Was it a similar type of music, or was it something that was kind of like a little bit different from that?
Yeah, pretty different. I'm classically trained, so I was singing.
Oh, interesting.
I was singing opera and all that stuff in school, which is
hell yeah.
So I love, I had that background. So I was writing music that was just stupid to try to play live. It just didn't like. It's like, okay, yeah, people are not gonna. So yeah, man. I mean, that was kind of my thing. It was very, interesting music, kind of like classical pieces condensed into like a 4-minute attempt at a rock song. So that's kind of what I was doing. I'm proud of it for sure, but
almost like neoclassical in a sense.
Yeah, man, I love the band Yes, like kind of rock.
Hell yeah.
I love Muse too, so real, but so that's a bit of what I was doing. And
I was doing a lot of I got in very heavily into the indie stuff.
Okay.
So I was like, I just like the atmospheric sounds that these indie songs could make, and I wanted to do that, but I didn't want to have like these like super washed out lyrics where you can't understand what anybody's singing, or like I hated that aspect of it all. So like I wanted to find a balance of doing the two and mixing, because I love beats and I love incorporating beats with drum loops, because I think it just adds that much more flair or something. So I was trying to find that, and admiring what he was doing, because we're in the same town. So like I just remember like we would have demos on our phones, and we would like go over to this one area over here called Trailhead, where like all these kids go out and drink on like whenever at this time,
Them, not
us, no, not us. And we would just
you were good kids.
we would be in the car like, okay, listen to this and then listen to this, and just kind of like I'd show him my indie stuff. He showed me his stuff that he's been working on. It's just kind of very, very opposite sounds, but somehow I think what made or blended us together was our love for like really personal, introspective lyrics, our hard-hitting riffs, or because we both kind of grew up on loving Arctic Monkeys' album AM. I loved. And I still love that album. I think it's incredible, and we always just like are so annoyed of what they have become. So we both agree on very similar things, but what we created at separate times is very different.
Sure. I'm curious if that's what drew you to production initially, too, was your sort of idea of like having these sorts of sounds that you were talking about, but like the vocals often kind of not exactly being the style that you liked, where you preferred them to be a little bit more intimate and a little bit more, what would be a good word? Understandable, I suppose, right. As opposed to like washed out. Is that kind of what drew you towards the production? Was so that you could do that sort of thing for yourself?
Yeah, well, I only started because I left my previous band as a bass player. And so when I first started, I didn't know how to sing. So I had to like learn how to do that.
Oh, sure.
Recording in my room. And I drove myself insane doing that. But once I got the hang of like little things here and there, that's when I felt confident enough to show other people demos, and especially
And I guess that totally makes sense as to why the band's sound is so eclectic, is the fact that you guys come from such vastly different backgrounds and are kind of just putting it all together and seeing what makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I'm curious as to what your live show looks like, considering that primarily you're a duo, but you play these very expansive songs that, I mean, you've had saxophone solos, you've obviously got, drums and all that, like a full band and everything. So what does your live show setup typically look like? Do you have a regular backing band that you call on, or?
We really do, yeah. We have... two main guys who are really, they should be front and center with us and everything. Like, their contributions are massive, and we're so lucky to play with them. Lyle Mauricio is our lead guitar player and saxophone player.
Okay,
he can also play drums and sing. He's just that annoying guy who can play whatever
you're
playing.
Anything.
Yeah, he picks up your instrument and just plays it better, and you're like, okay, this is our last rehearsal with him. And then our drummer, Sam Campbell, who's, I've played with a lot of guys, and he's just an absolute unit of a person, but also just as a drummer. Like, he's so charismatic in every way. So those are our two guys, and
right on.
I met Sammy playing in church. We were the rhythm section. I was bass, he was drums, and then X and Lyle go way back. So we're definitely like, we love a big sound,
Yeah.
He and I do all the writing. We're the executors. We put everything forward. It really is our project that we make the calls on. Mm-hmm. And I think some of the way we market it, it's just consistency, man. It's really, he and I have such a shared vision, but those two guys bring a ton of fire and life into it, and they're really irreplaceable. Like, I don't know how we got so lucky to play with those two. Oh, yeah. So when we play live, it's a big sound for sure. And he and I do play duo acoustic shows, and we can play 2 or 3 hours, and we have a great time. And the songs feel very different when it's stripped down. They have a new life almost.
For sure.
When we play with those two, man, we could, stadiums. We got that sound, especially with Sammy behind the kit. He's a big boy.
And did those two play on the upcoming record as well, or did you guys get set? Okay, cool, yeah. So
we did have some session guys, but
guys too.
We kept the core for sure.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was noticing is back in 2023, you put out an EP called Coastal Desert Melancholy, which, first off, incredible title to a project. I just want to say that right away. But so was that something that you guys produced independently, like on your own?
Yeah, we actually, after we would meet up and made a pact together of like, we're really like, and I always reference it, like it was like two silver bullets finally meeting, and instead of clashing, we just went like that with each other. And so we went, our favorite thing to do is have these riding excursions, and we go to 29 Palms, because we're kind of like right in the middle of like,
it's a desert out near Joshua Tree.
So that's we're like maybe 3 hours away from there, and we're like 45 minutes from the beach. So that's kind of what the coastal desert is to us. We can go 3 hours and we're right, like we feel like in this Western-y type of feel town. And with Coastal Desert Melancholy, we had a collection of songs, and the first time we went out there for our writing thing, we just got to work. We brought our laptops, bought our gear, bought our equipment, and promised to finish these songs, write lyrics, and write things that we actually mean, track, make dinner, drink mezcal, do everything that. It was just an amazing time.
And so the entire project was recorded during that excursion?
I'd say we had ideas, and yes and no, because we had more songs. It's a blend between there were ideas already brought and ideas finished there as well.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
so some were written out there. Again, there's 6. So I think they were all pretty much written out there either before.
Yeah.
And then we did some recording, which are the guy who mixed that just gave us so much shit for because it sounded so bad. So we had to do a lot of retracking.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
But it was the start of a fun tradition, man. We like you said, we went out to the desert, got an Airbnb. We had these ideas, and so much, music. Everyone has ideas, any sort of creative endeavor. So it's really important to find a space where you go if you need to seclude yourself and go, hey, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. We're working on music. Maybe we go away for an hour and write lyrics and come back, but bring something. Like you
just shut out the rest of the world. We're just going to work on this and lock in.
Yeah. Otherwise, you go home empty-handed, man. And there's we love our craft and we're very intentional with it. And so we've done it 3 times now.
Yeah,
we've gone out, but Coastal Desert Melancholy was our first one, and it was really cool to go out there and come back with 6 songs. So.
Well, and there's so many classic stories of writing excursions from various different bands, where they go out somewhere and, make this whole project. And I think that you're really just pulling on, such a rich history of tradition in doing that.
Yeah, being intentional with it. Our producer who did this most recent album, he was, yeah, man, I don't know. I think the whole creative process, it's so fun to see the finished product, but the stories of how it was made, which you don't always get. Our producer did Boys of Summer with Don Henley, the lead singer of the Eagles. Yeah. And dude, he just all his stories about them being out in some hotel in Mexico, just on some continuous bender and them tracking that song and then fudging it up and the record label being all pissed because the recordings are garbage and just all the stories behind it. And you're it sounds so fun. Oh my gosh, the creation, so if you get lucky enough to find your people, man, go make stuff, and time is always worth it.
And that's something that I'm always super interested in. And part of the reason why I continue to do this podcast is to, kind of get those stories, that sort of background stuff. So kind of moving forward into that, you guys, starting with, I believe this most recent single, which as of recording came out 10 days ago, you guys are starting to work towards releasing your first full-length album, which you worked with Nico Bolas for that. What was it that kind of pushed you in the direction of working with somebody a bit more established this time around instead of, kind of keeping it in-house? What was there a specific thing that pulled you in that direction, and kind of how was that experience?
Yeah, it was it was luck, but 10 years of, in my mind, working towards that. So I'm Greek, Nico's Greek. He actually grew up as a friend of my mom's family. I forget the exact correlation, but I always knew of Uncle Nico, and I knew he was in music. And then as I got more serious, I started sending him stuff, and we would go grab lunch, whatever, once a year, and I'd send him something I made, and he'd be like, "This is shit, be better." Just real hardcore. I remember one time he brought me into his studio. Incredible. And he was like, "Here's all the reasons why this song you did is so mediocre compared to what it could be." But it was all fantastic though. It's he's the man, So anyway, yeah, all these years, and he and I just, I don't know. I feel like if you really want to create and if you love it, it's like water on rock. It's just whatever, 10 years of dripping and you're going to bore a hole into that thing.
For sure, yeah.
And not that, you're begging people for anything. I love Uncle Nico. We built a relationship. And then finally we cut a live song of a live version of one of our songs, Lovebirds. It was the second song we ever put out. And our drummer's mom, Linda McCrary, sang on it. And she's sung with Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder. And we just got, again, lucky. The result was awesome. And I sent it to him and he was really into it. And we were talking. He was like, "What else are you working on?" And so this single that came out 10 days ago, Bona, I showed it to him. I showed him how we were self-producing it. We had just kind of got it off the ground. And he was like, "No, this is a great song." Can we cuss on this podcast?
Oh, go ahead. By all means.
"You're fucking it up." And he immediately, dude, it was like a dream come true, man. I mean, I read the old Johnny Cash and Elvis biographies. Like, he called the studio and was like, I'm bringing some kid in. He's got a great voice and a great song. Like, we'll be there next Wednesday. Have everyone there. And man, we cut the track. And one day, I'll tell you more in a little bit. But so that's how that came about, working with somebody like him. And it went so well, Ryan. He was like, you know what we're going to do next? We're going to cut a full record. Like,
hell yeah.
So kind of similar to that parallel of how X and I did Just So You Know, and it was like, this is great. Let's keep going and see what else is there. Yeah. Just if you can stay consistent and God willing, you're making quality stuff.
Yeah.
I think maybe Nico was like, I want to see what else you guys can do. And so we did 9 more. So we have 10 total. And a year later, it's done.
In a way, it seems like you guys are kind of magnetic for these people who have been, a big part in helping advance your career, whether it's, the two of you or Nico or, anybody else. It seems like you just seem to have that sort of like right place, right time thing that's been going for you.
We do get lucky.
Yeah.
And we're just crazy, man. Yeah. Like, we're really like, people know, like, don't ask us about anything else. We don't give a shit. Like, our jobs are how we make money. But like, this is what we do. Yeah. And he and I have become really symbiotic. And I don't know. I think Robbie was one of the other producers who helped on it, but Nico especially, man. I don't know. I think those cats can tell when it's like a fellow addict or something.
Oh, for like, sure, yeah.
It's like, oh, these guys are they're in it for better or worse, like kindred spirits. And I think that's also helped because you just want to make good music. We don't have an angle. We just want to have the song be as great as it can. And Bona Fide was one of those where it was like, I'm horrified at how it almost turned out versus where it ended up.
Yeah.
So that's just pure thankfulness to take something to that level.
Well, and that's such an interesting song because, like, you guys have done a little bit of, like, funky stuff with your single before that with Posh Apex. You guys have done some stuff, in a few other different directions as well. And it seems like this is kind of almost like a country western ballad or like a waltz almost, which I think is a really cool direction to take.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think... honestly, for both of us too, since we were like, even when this project started, we've been going to the desert. We just love the desert, and I think that the album just kind of encapsulates, because there's a lot of different sounding songs on the album, and it just it is a good representation of both of us, of how eclectic we can be, but it also has a good overall style of like, this desert thing that we tapped into and we continue to tap into. And we've been writing more like that too as well. Because, we've been going like here and here and here, but then still narrowing our sound down to things that we like / things that we don't really stand by anymore.
Yeah.
So, it's very exciting. It really is.
And so, like, moving forward, like, what's the plan for the release? Are you planning on, like, waterfalling several tracks and, like, doing it that way? Or are you kind of thinking, like, 2 or 3 singles and then the album's going to come out? Like, do you have a plan for that you want to, like, announce to the people?
Yeah, we do have a plan. For the first time in our careers, we have something of a plan. Yeah, album will be out this year for sure. We haven't set the date just yet, but I think we know what it is. And I'm sure there will be 3 to 4 singles in that time. We've already got a music video done for one. We have a Bona Fide music video coming out Friday. So we're really excited for that. And we're excited. We're kind of creating a thread. And we have a great friend named Ty Metcalf. He has a company called Tangelo Vision.
Okay.
Incredible cinematographer. And I think we both really value the cinematic as well. Yeah. I mean, if we could...
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Again, being strong number 2s, we don't even need to be in our music videos. We're just about the songs. So with Ty, we're filming an episodic series where we're the album is very, Bona Fide's light and kind of dreamy, but the album gets pretty dark at times. Okay. And it felt very Twilight Zone-esque, like this sort of...
interesting.
and our genre is so we don't even know what to call it, like, because it's song by song. We would never go like, oh great, let's do 9 more country ballads. I think the next song on it is like just a heavy rock song, so it's just song by song. So this album, we're rolling it out episodically, like you would want to watch a TV show. Every episode is very different, almost like a limited series in that way. That's how the songs feel on the album. Yeah.
And so is the plan for the music videos to have kind of like an interconnected like theme running through all of them, or like an interconnected storyline?
So far, no.
Yeah. Hang on, we didn't get that far.
But the gears are turning now.
Yeah. The way we present them, it's not a concept album. There isn't quite that through thread. But each video, the 2 that we've done, we went out to Las Vegas, and you can say more about this. Yes. And we have a song on the album called Of the Essence. Okay. And we just shot in 2 days in the Nevada desert a music video for that. And it's, again, the pairing of music with the strong visual to really like look at our lyrics, look at our music as if it was written for a video. And then try to find the most powerful element in there. So that song is time is of the essence. It's about time. It's about, saying what you mean while you still can. And so all that to say, there's not a through. If there's a through thread, it's that each song and each video is really about coming clean.
Yeah, and it's all very intentional. Like we're not going to put anything out that we don't stand behind, obviously.
Yeah,
just to put something out, and we really beat ourselves up about that because we really want something to be so good, once it's released. So.
It was making me think of, I don't know if you guys are into metalcore type of stuff at all or anything like that, but there's a band called Ice Nine Kills who, for a project that they put out a while back, they did a number of music videos that were all this like interconnected storyline along with the music videos. And so when you first started talking about like kind of the connection between it, like that was the thing that was coming up in my head, and I was like, ooh, this is like a cinematic universe almost. This will be cool,
I think maybe the next album we've actually already got planned.
Yeah.
And that one will be, again, this album in a way was like, we didn't expect this to happen with Nico. We were like working on a separate album, and then we were like, oh snap. And so we really geared our songs towards his recording style.
Oh, so sure.
It was kind of like, what songs could we just not produce on our own? What songs do we really have to take advantage of this opportunity and the quality of production? So, but the episodic, I'm with you, man. I love that. I love the concept because it makes everything more powerful. That one thing leads into the next. Yeah.
I love the high concept stuff just because it's so interesting and takes so much effort. But that is the thing as well. It takes a lot of effort to do well. And so you have to really be thinking about it from the get-go. I'm curious, with you talking about going back to doing some of your own production for whatever next project ends up happening, what are some of the things that you learned from the process of working in this more, I guess, potentially formal studio setting or whatever you would want to say, that you are trying to like incorporate into your workflow moving forward with your other production?
I think with what Nico taught me is that, you better come with something that you believe in, and you also got to come prepared. So you got to work on it. You got to really, really work on it and establish it within yourself and be confident about it as well. Otherwise Nico wants nothing to do with it, which, I totally agree. I would, unless it's him and I work well together and I can show him ideas, but we have to have a completed idea before we present something. So, that's something I definitely learned. And I love the way that process goes as well, because I just remember we're recording one day in the studio, and I had a little bass, little riff thing I was doing, and I was kind of messing around, and Nico just stops me. He's like, you get one of those. You get one of those, and that's it. And I'm like, okay.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. So I think just coming prepared and just having confidence in what you're saying or singing.
I do think that that's one of the biggest pitfalls that a lot of people who get started in home recording and stuff like that often experience when they get their first shot at a more formal studio sort of session is not knowing how prepared you need to be, because you're so used to we'll figure out the arrangement, we'll figure out this, that, or the other while we're recording, because we've got, when you're in a bedroom or whatever else, you've got basically unlimited time to just mess with stuff and figure it out, and you really have to be a lot more organized going into the studio like that. Yeah,
you really do. And it's an expensive process, man. It's
that's true as well.
But what was cool about Nico's style was everything on the album really is it's not that we only did one take, but it's one take. It was take 4. That was the one I felt the most moved by it. And it was never you guys played it perfectly or you sung it right. It was just that shit moved me.
The best performance. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Now let's layer whatever other instruments that weren't being played at the time.
Yeah.
And what Xavier said is exactly right. It's I get anxious now with how many options there are, with AI and more and more. You can kind of keep the training wheels on forever, and how much of a powerhouse bass line or vocal take are you going to give sitting in a chair in your room, when you're trying to be quiet, maybe because there's a neighbor around, or you have no incentive. So to be, not that it has to be done that way, but I totally agree with X. Even if you are alone in your home studio, you've got to coax yourself into what am I singing about, and be in that space and not be I'm just going to make it all better later, and figure it out down the road. It's just show up and kick ass. And with these guys who we're working with, Nico, who's old school, and they recorded on tape, very unforgiving. You can't go back and fix things. It was cool to be with a kind of a dying breed of people who were if you're not that impressive, you're not worth my time and money. And that's good. That brings a better performance out of the band and the players. And it is can we create a moment? So when you hear our album that's coming out and Bonafide, you're hearing a lived moment in a studio, not take 37 with take 2 and take 9. It's one thing that happened, and
pressure makes diamonds at the end of the day, right?
It does. And I do feel I'm maybe a purist, but I do feel music is moving away from that, where you can just take anybody and make them sound. And so I do think this album is a bit of a rebellion. It's pushing back into this is real people living in a real moment, one real take, no making anybody sound better than they were at that time. And that's cool.
And that's something that I appreciate, and I feel we're kind of seeing the pendulum swing back a little bit, with, the rise of AI in the last several years and things like that. I feel people are looking for the cracks in the seams. People want to hear that real human element of, maybe there was this weird thing that happened, but everybody, reacted to it in a certain way live on the floor, just small little things. Even just the when you're sliding on an acoustic guitar and the weird little slide sound and stuff like that. It's small little things that people are gravitating towards, because AI is making all of this stuff that feels fake, and you're not getting that human element. I mean, there's so many classic examples too. You think about what is it at the beginning of Roxanne? I think it is when Bono sat on the piano, and then he like chuckles, and they just left it in the take. You know, little things like that.
Was
that
Bona
I think
in there with the police?
Or no, Sting.
Yeah,
Sting.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that,
I was like, this is blowing my mind.
No, the other one name guy.
Yeah.
But
he fell, and then he laughed, and then he just left it in there.
Exactly.
It's so funny.
Just like small little things like that, and it really like, you know, kind of brings out the human element of it, which I do enjoy that all of that is kind of coming back, and I feel like you're seeing more bands do the live off the floor recording thing for that reason as well, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, not to get too existential, but it sounds like you said, just nailed it. It sounds more human. So
yeah,
it just happens to be music. Pick a medium, but mistakes like are doorways, you know, into things that you would never have known were there. And when we completely get rid of mistakes, it doesn't act. No human is like that. We all walk around carrying like, I can't believe I said that dumb thing. I can't believe I forgot this. Like, we're just constantly carrying that. So if we become a culture that's watching and listening to things that are sleek and flawless and inhuman, I don't know why. I don't know what that's going to do for us, really.
Yeah.
But when you hear something where somebody's voice cracks, there was one of our songs on the album called Achilles. My voice cracked royally at this high note, and I had to fight Nico because he's like, "That's staying on," and I'm a diva singer, and I was like,
sure.
"No, it's not. Like, there's no way in hell." But he was like, "But it was real, and it happened." I was like, "I don't give a shit." But
I totally know that conversation though, because I've had it a million times with different people that I've helped produce as well. So like, yeah, I get it.
But the mistakes are good, man. They're what's going to save us. And I agree with you. The pendulum's swinging, and people want to hear like, that sounds like me. That sounds like there's mistakes. That sounds real and also impressive. Like people who you can tell they worked for that result. And
I do think that that's another part of it too, is it's kind of like, you know, things aren't impressive if you know that they can be faked or that they were faked. And so I think that that's another part of it too, is people are like, well, I see this thing, but am I allowed to be impressed, or is it fake? And I feel like, it's just another thing of like a lot of people are, you know, just kind of going back in that direction. And I think that that's a cool thing. Kind of wrapping up this part of the episode, is there anything that you guys want to shout out that you've got coming up? Any sort of announcements or anything? These can be for right now. We're live on April 20th, but the episode will come out in a few weeks. So you can say stuff that's coming up now, stuff that's going to be coming up a little bit later. You know, you have the floor, whatever kind of announcements or anything you want to do.
Well, we have that Bona Fide video on Friday, but might be a little bit before this episode is out. So,
but anybody who's watching live will know.
Oh, that's right. Bona Fide out. That's right. The video, the song is out right now, and it's doing pretty well for us on Spotify. Got kind of picked up, and we've just been monitoring it because Spotify has like live feed, and it just shows you how many people are listening. So I just woke up one day and we're just like, what the hell's going on? We thought it was a bot that took one of our songs and just put it, but it's been all organic, all radio stuff. So
I'm curious what kind of playlists it's getting added to.
Right now it's on the radio, so like it's presenting itself on like Discovery Weekly or Release Radar, and it's putting it in front of rotations of a lot of these other songs, and it's just really cool to see right now. Just
I bet.
Yeah, kicking numbers.
We are a weird band in that way where we have and do have like songs that are on rock stations, and then maybe a country station, and then it's kind of a scattered bit. I always think it's funny if people find the song that they like and then they check out the other songs and they're like, I was expecting more of the same, which I think will live and die by that hill. It's just for us, like, I think genre being boxed in is just a coffin. It's like, who gives a shit, man? It's been done before. If it's like, you're a reggae band or you're a this band, right. Cool. But we just go by the song. Like, melody is paramount. But to answer your question, Bona Fide is out. Go listen to it, man. That song has been such a blessing. I'm so it gave us our album, and it means everything to us. So if people at least just give it 10 seconds, see if you like it, see if you like the vibe. And the rest of the album it's so cool. I mean, I'm biased, but we listen to it still, and it's like, man, this is a journey. And it's the water just gets deeper as the album goes. The songs get bigger and more cinematic, but there is a through thread, which is that it's us all playing. Yeah. And there's no tricks, and it's the same instrumentation, but it's a journey. And the Bona Fide music video will be out this Friday. It's a bitchin', like, we shot it like an old TV show, like Johnny Carson, sort of like, and coming up next, we have the Virtual Nobodies performing their hit single. So we worked with this fantastic team led by Justin Alpern down in Culver City. And it's a really cool music video. And so that'll be out, what's this Friday? April 24th, I think?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think so.
And then in a few weeks when you hear this, we also performed at Jam in the Van, which is a pretty big platform.
Oh, I love that show. I've seen a few different bands play that. That's always super fun.
So that's coming out at the end of this month, actually.
Oh, hell yeah.
So April 30th, we performed 3 songs, including Achilles, which will probably be song 2 off the album, which nobody's heard anything of. So that'll be your first taste of song 2.
Yeah.
And do you have any live shows coming up locally that people can catch you at in the next, we'll say, month or so?
Next month we've got Deer Lodge. I'm sorry. Next month we've got Aviator Nation and Deer Lodge. Deer Lodge is on the 2nd, and then Aviator Nation is on
May 15th. Yeah, so if you're in Southern California, Ojai, it used to be a Hells Angels clubhouse, and it's just this real eclectic biker bar that's a great venue. Bands stop in who are doing their California tour all the time. Yeah, it's a funny little spot. John Bernthal, I don't know if you know who that is. He's played Shane in The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know who that is.
He's an Ojai local, and I think he does his podcast there. Yeah. So it's just
really?
It's way out in the boonies, but it's such a vibe. So we'll be playing there May 2nd, and then May 15th, Aviator Nation, which is right across the street from the pier in Malibu. So if you happen to be in that area or in Los Angeles, it's our favorite venue. Honestly, from the stage, you can see the ocean. The sound is killer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's just such a vibe in there. So we're playing with some other great acts, but it's our first headline there. And we've never had a bad time. So May 15th, May 2nd, come see us.
Hell yeah. Congratulations on your first headliner at that venue, too, by the way. So moving on to the second part of the episode, this is where we're going to share some new music, some fresh finds, if you will. I'm going to go first, and then we'll go around. I believe that you guys have chosen the final song together, right?
Yeah.
Before we do...
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Question for you. This is season 6 of your show. What are you looking forward to this season? I'm genuinely curious because I saw how many you have.
All right.
And it sounds like this probably started in COVID. Like, what are I don't know, what are you looking forward to? Any changes, anything you're excited for, anything you're mixing up? Like,
the biggest thing that I'm really stoked about is the live stream, because I just switched to this other software that makes it so much easier on everybody that I have come on, because it was so janky before. I was having people record their own audio and their own video locally on their computer and then email it to me over Google Drive. It was always like, 20 gigabytes or something like that. So it took forever to download and, all of that. It was such a pain. So this is so much easier to do it this way. And it gave me the opportunity to try live streaming as well, which I've been finding really interesting. And I think that that's the biggest thing that I'm the most excited for is, getting a little bit deeper into that. I'm hoping that I can maybe start getting some, custom pop-ups and stuff like that for when people subscribe and all that stuff, but I haven't looked too deep into that yet.
Oh, yeah. Cool, man.
All right.
Keep it going, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's cool to see you adapting, too. I mean, I don't know anything about podcasting, but this is a really nice interface. So.
Yeah, it is.
Good change.
Well, and that was the thing. It started out audio only, then I switched to video, then, it's just kind of snowballed, and I think that my main strength is just trying to ride the wave of momentum that I happen to find myself on,
Hell yeah.
itching, dude.
Sick.
Hell yeah. So the first song that I'm going to play is one that I don't do this as much anymore, but it's a song that I found on TikTok when I was just like scrolling through about a week and a half ago. And, you know, occasionally you'll just hear a song that just like really grabs you. And this one was by a band called Mel Bryant and the Mercy Makers. They are from Nashville, Tennessee. And this is from their album that came out last July called Every Godforsaken Morning. This is I Don't Want to Live Like This.
I saw my therapist yesterday morning. I told him I'll be fine until we meet for next week. Glad he didn't ask me to define what fine means to me, 'cause right now it's looking pretty bleak. When I can't brush my teeth without turning on the TV, and I haven't really slept in a week. I don't wanna live like this anymore, so don't tell me that I'm doing better. I don't wanna live like I'm keeping score. I'm sick and perpetually past. I don't wanna live like this. I don't wanna live like this. Before I open my eyes, I open my iPhone, checking all the red dots until they're gone. And I refresh until I'm so goddamn depressed, 'cause I don't know how to accept that and move on. And I've been told that I should work harder, and I've been told I need to give myself a fucking break. And I don't know who to believe, because I sure as fuck can't trust me. You would not believe the mess I fucking make. I don't wanna live like this anymore, so don't tell me that I'm doing better. I don't wanna live like I'm keeping score. I'm sick and perpetually past. I don't wanna live like this. I don't wanna live like this. So the passing thought of death leads me into such a panic, so ecstatic and chronic I could cry. My therapist says that it's good I wanna live so bad, it's so oxymoronic I could die. I don't wanna live like this anymore, so don't tell me that I'm doing better. I don't wanna live like I'm keeping score. I'm sick and perpetually past. I don't wanna live like this. I don't wanna live like this. I don't wanna live like. I don't wanna live.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I really love that sort of like, you know, roots rock, you know,
Yeah.
bordering on country kind of sound. And I know that you guys have kind of done a little bit of like that type
Yeah.
of stuff too. So I thought that it was a good fit to
That's cool.
kind of start us off, you know.
Hell yeah.
It was
Yeah.
that it was that before I opened my eyes, I opened my iPhone line. I was like that's what got me the first time. I was like, all right, I get that, you know. Everybody's so phone addicted these days, including myself, you know.
I think we all do. Before my eyes, you're opening, you're fumbling.
You're just like,
yeah.
My precious.
Twitter, what?
A good song. Strong vocal performance, too. Like, she was ripping the whole time.
Oh, yeah. And she's got an incredible range across this entire project, too. Another thing that I kind of found a little bit of a parallel, they stay a bit more in, like, the rock direction, but they also kind of play with a few different sounds. Like, the song before this on the project, it's called Mad About, and it's, like, bordering on pop punk almost. Like there's a total, like, break sort of section thing that's basically a rip-off of a Green Day song, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's great. So they're super cool. I don't know too much more about them because I couldn't find much online, but this is, I think, their third album that they've put out, so they've got quite a bit of stuff that they've done.
Oh yeah, touring band?
I think so, but I'm not entirely sure.
Cool.
They definitely play around the Nashville area. Yeah. I know that for sure, yeah. What do we have up next?
It goes to me, right?
The next one that we had was Blur. I just give me a quick little introduction for it, you know.
Actually, I've never met this dude in person, but I know it's my friend. Okay. His name is Kobe J. Years ago when I was doing my solo project, I saw an ad of this like kid, like he was like in high school and he was making a EP, and it was like a sponsored ad. And I was like, all right, let's see this. And like
an Instagram thing?
Yeah. And I clicked on it and I was like, oh shit, actually kind of like just like the weird eclectic shit that he was doing. And I followed him, we started having a conversation. I reached out to him, I was like, hey man, I like your stuff. It's like I'm doing solo stuff too. I didn't know how young he was, and and it was weird because like we get a lot of troll comments on Instagram, and I think he was getting some, but I was like, what the fuck, he's doing, this is cool, this is like
troll comments? Huh? No, we don't. Everyone loves us.
We'll put out a short and
I'm fact checking real quick.
You know where people are jerks? YouTube.
That's true. Yeah.
Everyone on YouTube is such a dick. It's so funny. We'll like post the same thing on TikTok. They'll be like, "We love it," and on YouTube they're like, "We're like virtual bad singers." What? One of the most creative,
incredible.
Like, I'm like,
anyway. So I've known Kobe for a long time now, for years, and he's a pretty eclectic artist. He's more recently diving into it seems like a much more grittier sound. Cool. And I just listened to this song that he just put out, part of like I think a 3-song EP. But this one in particular stood out to me. It's called Blur. It's kind of heavier than anything that I've heard him do. So I was really actually impressed. It's a good song.
I'm always a fan of some heavier stuff, so you got me stoked. Dude, that is so riffy and hooky at the same time. I love that shit,
Kobe J's the man, dude. He's like, he reminds me of us, honestly. He's just, once he started doing music, he's just never stopped. And I know he really, really believes in it because he just like, he's constantly experimenting, just trying different things. And so like, I really respect that kid. He's cool. He's cool as shit.
Yeah. And I love the sound of it too. I was kind of surprised to see that was the last song on that project.
Yeah,
because
I know.
I heard the little like, you know, there was like some sort of like little silence with some sounds, and I thought that it was gonna like crossfade into the next track or something like that. But like I like that a lot. If you're looking for anything with a similar sound, ironically, we just talked about these guys on the last episode that I recorded that hasn't officially been put out, but we streamed it, which is a band called Potion Cellar from Grand Rapids, Michigan. They have a very similar sound to that, and my ears kind of perked up when I heard it because I was I really like this sound when they do it, so this is similar sound, and I still really like it.
Cool. I'm gonna add a song to my playlist. Oh yeah.
That was also the first live add to likes that we've had on any of the Twitch streams. I dig that one a lot. It's so cool.
Hell yeah.
How long did you say he's been releasing music for?
I found him in 2019, 2020.
Okay.
And at that time, he released an EP. So he was living in Vegas at the time. And I think he's going to school out here now, or in college. So, you know, we would talk about like, hey, how do we get like more streams? How do we do this? And like, we would just like, I don't know. He was just trying everything. I was trying anything as well. And we would just have conversations. And I just really random, like kind of like we found I found him, he threw an ad. I found you. It's just like, organic kind of.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, and that's something that I've talked about so much before too, is like, you know, if you're trying to get into doing music or, you know, even podcasting or anything like that, anything where you're like wanting to work with other people, like just reach out, because everybody's just some guy at the end of the day, and the worst thing that they can do is say no, you know?
Yeah. Seriously.
And I think that's, you know, one of the best ways to make connections is just like, hey, I fuck with what you're doing. You want to just like chat sometime, or, you know, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to queue up the next one for us?
Yeah. Do we have Look For Me? Is that our next one?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool. So shout out my baby sister. This is Gracie Gray. She is way more accomplished than any and all of us. She is a certified badass. Man, she classical singer. Like, she went to Long Beach Conservatory, was their top dog soprano, but she's just an unreal songwriter. I mean, you'll hear the music, you'll make the connection. She definitely has a style. She self-produces. She really wants it to just sound as much like her as she can. She's about to go on tour on the whole East Coast with an artist named Emily Asina. I talked to her today. She's just about to take off.
Nice.
But bro,
That's awesome.
She's played the Greek Theater in LA. Like, she's played with. She's great. She's really great. And as a vocalist, she does a cover of Somewhere Over the Rainbow that we were in. We were at a venue in LA where she's playing hundreds of people. You could have heard a pin drop. It was just her solo. Like, she does stuff vocally, these vocal runs that are, you know, really impressive. So this is her most recent release. It's called Look For Me, and that gives you a good idea of who she is and what she's about.
Dream, 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 don't follow me as I wait to figure out what to do. Dream, 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 don't look for me. I'm so in love, I don't wanna see ya. Dream, 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 don't hurt.
That's so cool.
He's got a very soothing voice.
Yeah, it also takes. Is that like? Does she self-produce, or is this? Because this has all of my favorite elements of like bedroom pop production, which is like the very intimate vocal, the very eclectic mix of different instruments, because it's got like the heavy bass in that one part, but it's also got the banjo and the harmonica. Like that's one of my favorite things, is like, you know, kind of off the wall instrumentation like that is super cool.
Totally. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and that's her live show feels a lot like that. She'll come in with her moody vocal and whatever instrument she's on, and then the band kicks in, and what you just described, pairing that softness with a real heavy bottom end, is it's cool, and it's not too common. But I'm just gonna try to be a good big brother. She's playing Vermont, Massachusetts, or Boston, sorry, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C., April 24, 25, 27, 28, and 29. So,
hell yeah.
If y'all on the East Coast, go see Gracie Gray with
Check
Emily
it out.
Messina, winning some Big Brother points right.
And what kind of like setup for the band does she have? Is it typically like, you know, bass, guitar, drums, and then she'll play like whatever other instruments, or like?
I've seen everything in between, man. I think for this show, she has a guitar player and her fiance, my future brother-in-law, who's a brilliant producer as well. Shout out. He's going to be doing some like, I think he's programmed a bunch of beats, but they're kind of switching around. They're all multi-instrumentalists. So
that's super cool.
He'll be like playing the beats analog on that, you know, little keyboard thing, and then be on bass. So it's a setup I haven't seen, but when she was describing it, it sounds like it's going to be really neat.
Yeah, I dig that a lot. I also was a little surprised when the vocals came in, because you had mentioned that she was like classically trained, and I think you had, you know, talked about like some opera and stuff like that. And so, I was expecting like some really crazy vocal runs or something like that, and to see the more like kind of that intimate bedroom pop sort of vocal styling, I thought was really cool, because it shows that like just because you have a background in one style doesn't mean that you can't do something else, you know?
Yeah, the big takeaway from that whole style that she has in spades, and I got something from, it's really like breath control. So she does sing really soft and airy, and it's actually very difficult to like sustain it, because it'd be easy to be like dream, 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 dream. But if you listen to her music, she's really long phrasing, and the longer you sing without taking a breath, the better it sounds. Your phrases all lead into each other better. Breaths are kind of not the death for a singer, I shouldn't say that, but we are taught to plan your breaths, because it allows you to elongate your phrases. So anyway, she really condenses that, but it's the technique is still poking through. So.
Yeah, and that even reminds me of, you know, back when I was in like high school band and stuff like that, and, you know, they would specifically be like, okay, put your breath marker right here, because it's where you have a good spot to like take a breath and things like that. And it's definitely something that transitions like across styles and things like that too. I think just those small little technical things, even if you're going for like a very different style, can just help you as a vocalist a lot, which is cool to see.
It's like driving a car. You're happy if you run out of gas near a gas station, but if you're like, I can cross this desert, and then you're about to end a phrase and you go, it's like, oh, I should have taken that breath back when it didn't matter. Like, it would have been fine. So you get it. And then, choir or band, if everyone starts breathing at different spots, you hear it. There's like a ripple going on because you're missing.
Yeah. All right. So my next song was a direct submission. If you are watching the podcast and you make music that you would like to submit, freshfindspod@gmail.com. Send it over to there, and I'll give it a spin, see if I like it. And if I do, then I will probably feature it on an episode. This is an indie pop duo from the UK who who actually just released their album that this is off of 5 days ago on April 15th. As of right now, it's currently, as far as I can tell, exclusive to Bandcamp because I can't find it on streaming anywhere. But really cool stuff. This is Late Libation by... I've been going back and forth on how to pronounce this band name all day because I have read it in a million different ways. But I think it's Woozy Bamboozy.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds wrong.
It probably is. And
it's actually
hopefully...
Woozah.
Yeah.
Woozah Bambooza. We know that.
Hopefully they see this and they can correct me so that we get the answers. But this is Late Libation.
This is the bamboozy sound. You had a warning in the morning blood red sky. It prophesied a certain deed would fall awry. These times are troubled, full of anger and divide. You run for cover, will you make it out alive? You wander helpless in an age of fallen truth. The market square is all but bare, a tattered suit is hanging lifeless on a man that had it all. A tale of caution when you kick the crystal ball. When you pour the late libation, offer a drop to the ground. Tell the DJ in the station, this is the bamboozy sound. You write the rhythm like a vision on demand. Across the airways there's a brave new world at hand. We march for solidarity without delay. Our disobedience is threatening to stay. A hypergraphic, click the writing on the wall. A personality will show you how to fall. Down through the pavement crack beneath the catacomb. Last door and dog, they'll always first to call the tune. When you pour the late libation, offer a drop to the ground. Tell the DJ in the station, this is the bamboozy sound. Hey, hey, yeah. Oh, let's go. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. No, it's not something to misconstrue. There's a cue at the altar involved. In the age of all things absolute, there's a key in a box that is locked. When you pour the late libation, offer a drop to the ground. Tell the DJ in the station, this is the bamboozy sound.
I like that. It sounded like a slap bass in that chorus.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was something that I was just thinking about as I saw you guys start to like air along to it. Yeah, and as I was like, oh shit, both of these guys are primarily bass players. Like I didn't even think about that when I chose this.
I like that song in that I feel like if a song doesn't surprise you, you know,
Yeah.
that chorus definitely I was like, oh, it got like kind of rock almost. And then the second verse when the ooze came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh
interesting.
shit!
Yeah,
Like
I
every
that.
section, there's something new, and that keeps you in it.
Exactly. And I think that that's really like how you keep people like interested is you've got to have some sort of thing that changes a little bit along the way.
Sure.
And the biggest thing that I hear that I think about when I hear this song is I would love to see it performed live. And I would love to see how they do that because it's like, it's got such an energy to it that it just makes you want to dance. So like, I could imagine how crazy it would go live if there were some people who were willing to move their feet a little bit, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know too much more about those guys. That was most of the info that they
I think
gave
it's Van
me.
Bussy, by the way, man.
that was what I thought at first when I read it. I thought it was Wussy Bambussy, and I was like, I don't think that. Then I listened to it, Bamboozy sound, and then I'm like, I feel like it has to rhyme, or else maybe. So I'm sticking with Woozy Bamboozy for now until proven otherwise.
Yeah, fair.
Until court's adjourned.
Exactly. If they leave a comment, then I will post an addendum.
Bambussy, goddammit.
Yeah.
Like bus, but plural.
Yeah. I would kill for that kind of engagement. So, what do we got up next here?
Up next, we got friends of ours, Spectre Jones. We actually played a show with him not that long ago over at what was the place called again?
Genghis Cohen.
Genghis Cohen in LA.
Okay.
And when we were doing rehearsals, or like not rehearsing, sound check, Wilson, I think the bass player, he was leading this song called All My Love.
Okay.
And a big thing that Jeremiah and I are into, melody. Like melody is just like so strong. Yeah. And, that's always the first thing that you remember other than the words. Maybe you remember a word or two to kick off a melody that you remember indefinitely. You always feel a melody. And so when they're doing sound check, they were performing the song, and that just immediately stuck with me. And after the sound check, I was like, "Hey, who sang that song? Like, what's that song?" I just had to know. So I finally heard it recorded. And I'm like, God, it's been a good song. Like I really love hearing it. It's groovy.
It's always great when you hear a song live the first time and then the recording lives up to your expectations.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I know there's definitely been a time or two that I've seen a band and been like, oh, this is so good. And then you listen to it, you're like, it's missing just a little something. I don't know what it is.
No, they played it like just how I thought the recording would be. And
that's awesome.
It goes hand in hand, so it's a good song.
All right. So once again, that is
All My Love by Spectre Jones. like that. It sounded like a slap bass in that chorus.
Yeah. That was something that I was just thinking about as I saw you guys start to like air along to it. Yeah, as I was like, oh shit, both of these guys are primarily bass players. Like I didn't even think about that when I chose this.
I like that song in that I feel like if a song doesn't surprise you, you know, that chorus definitely. I was like, oh, it got like, kind of rocked almost, and then the second verse when the ooze came in, I was like, oh shit! Like every section, there's something new, and that keeps you in it.
Exactly, and I think that's really like how you keep people like interested. Is you've got to have some sort of thing that changes a little bit along the way.
Sure.
And the biggest thing that I hear that I think about when I hear this song is I would love to see it performed live. And I would love to see how they do that because it's like, it's got such an energy to it that it just makes you want to dance. So like, I could imagine how crazy it would go live if there were some people who were willing to move their feet a little bit, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know too much more about those guys. That was most of the info that they gave me.
It's Van Bussy, by the way, man.
That was what I thought at first when I read it. I thought it was Wussy Bambussy. And I was like, I don't think that I listened to it. Bamboozy sound. And then I'm like, I feel like it has to rhyme or else maybe. So I'm sticking with Woozy Bamboozy for now until proven otherwise.
Yeah, fair.
Until court's adjourned.
Exactly. If they leave a comment, then I will post an addendum.
Bam Bussy, goddammit.
Yeah.
Like bus, but plural.
Yeah. I would kill for that kind of engagement. So, what do we got up next here?
Up next, we got friends of ours, Spectre Jones. We actually played a show with him not that long ago over at what was the place called again?
Genghis Cohen.
Genghis Cohen in LA.
Okay.
And when we were doing rehearsals, or like not rehearsing, sound check, Wilson, I think the bass player, he was leading this song called All My Love.
Okay.
And a big thing that Jeremiah and I are into, melody. Like melody is just like so strong. And, you know, that's always the first thing that you remember other than the words. Maybe you remember a word or two to kick off a melody that you remember indefinitely. You know, you always feel a melody. And so when they're doing sound check, they were performing the song, and that just immediately stuck with me. And after the sound check, I was like, hey, who sang that song? Like, what's that song? You know, I just had to know. So I finally heard it recorded, and I'm like, God, it's been a good song. Like I really love hearing it. It's groovy.
It's always great when you hear a song live the first time, and then the recording lives up to your expectations.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I know there's definitely been a time or two that I've seen a band and been like, "Oh, this is so good," and then you listen to it, you're like, "It's missing just a little something. I don't know what it is."
No, they played it like just how I thought the recording would be, and
that's awesome.
It goes hand in hand, so it's a good song.
All right. So once again, that is
All My Love by Spectre Jones.
That is super cool.
I feel like I'm back in Mexico.
I always find that type of music so interesting to think about from like a production standpoint, because like I coming from somebody who like plays an instrument and like does that sort of thing, like the approach to everything is so different, and I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I don't understand it fully, but I know it's a real crucible, because you're there to make people move and dance.
Yeah.
It's not like it's, with me playing an instrument, you could be, let's take people down, let's make them sad. Like, and that music you do too. Like you have your, it's just so like compressed, where it's like, we're going to really bring you down and then bring you back up again. And like, I imagine for him, you're watching people's reactions, and I mean, really in real time. It's because, I don't know, people are either dancing or they're not. They're starting to move and get engaged or not. And so I'm with you. Like, it's not a medium I'm familiar with, but I imagine it's like, it almost reminds me of like comedy in the way where like you either know if you're killing it or you're not.
Yeah.
And so when I'm thinking like this being his most recent release, I'm like, I want to talk to him, like, how does it do? Because you immediately will go take it out and like see how people respond. I'm sure it's different on different nights, but different than like a band,
And I always wonder with that type of stuff too, how much you're able to do like on the fly, because I've talked to a lot of DJs and producers and stuff like that who have told me like, oh yeah, most of the set I make beforehand, and then I'm just doing like little adjustments here and there. And so I wonder when you do big long sets like that, if there is something where it's like, man, they're really just not moving to this the way that I want, if you have any sort of like escape button to like the next part or anything like that, or if it's just like we're just gonna let it roll and hope that the next part hits when it needs to. Well, I'm always curious about that. But
great question. Stuff I would love to know more too. I mean, it's that medium though is killing it, man. I mean, these guys Fide, man, he's crushing it, like really connected and just moving up his ladder and his genre, and it's cool to see. But I hear you. It is like, okay, cool. If this is working, maybe we stay here. It's like just encore. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or if it's like, maybe this isn't like, how can I? And I think that's where they really do their magic. Is like, I'm gonna get us into something new, and you're gonna like, it's like a magic trick. You're gonna blink.
Yeah.
And here we are in a new space. And I've seen him do that live, and takes a lot of finesse and skill. So
when I've only really gotten into that type of stuff, like I listened to a little bit of EDM when I was in like high school and college and stuff like that, but I've only really gotten into sort of like the I get the culture of it a little bit more, and like actually going to like shows or raves or whatever you want to call it, because I have a friend who DJs, so I've started going to some of her stuff, and it's been really interesting sort of the difference in culture between that and like, I'm typically more of like a punk type guy, so like the difference in culture between like a punk show and like a rave is very interesting to behold from the outside. It's
Totally.
yeah.
I always thought it was funny because like a punk show, it's like, oh yeah, the last band's gonna go on at like 11 or something like that, and it's like, oh, it's maybe the second act is gonna go on at 11 o'clock at like a rave, and like the headliner's not gonna go on until like 3 a.m. or something like that. You're like, man, you got to be in it.
You got to be rolling.
Exactly. Few uppers ought to do the trick, right? I do appreciate that you decided to kind of switch up the vibe a little bit, because I have a little bit of a vibe switch for my last song too, which is a band from Chicago called Football Head. And I only just found out about them because they were opening for another band that I saw on a tour that I went to. And these guys are really interesting because they are kind of a
Is that
punk...
a Hey Arnold reference?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so.
Sounds like it is.
But they're kind of like an emo punk type band. But on this new album that this song was a single from, they started leaning really heavy into early 2000s like radio rock, butt rock type of stuff.
Got it. Cool.
And it's really cool because it brings back a vibe that I haven't heard a modern band do well in a really, really long time. It kind of reminds me of like Linkin Park a little bit and like some other, hard rock bands of that era. And this is my favorite song off of the entire project. This song is called Diversion.
Wake up 12:30? Dude, easy.
Right?
Sorry, you were supposed to.
I feel you, though.
Easy.
But man, like, as soon as I hear
cool.
that song, it's like, you're back in 2003.
Yeah. No. So some of these songs have been put on my playlist, actually.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm driving in my car in my feels.
Yeah.
What's life wrong with me?
For me, it's like I'm playing SSX Tricky or something like
that.
Right,
yeah. That's so funny. Hell yeah.
One of those early games like that.
Hell yeah.
And like, these guys are just so cool. It was kind of funny because when I first had heard about them, there was a little bit of buzz going on with like the first couple of singles that they released, which this was one of them. And when I heard the name, based on like the community of people that were talking about it, I was kind of thinking it was going to be like some Midwest emo, like kind of soft emo type of stuff. And like I could kind of take or leave that. Not really my biggest thing. I do enjoy some of it, but you know, that was what I assumed it was based on the people who were talking about it. And then I saw them live because they were opening up for another emo band called Ben Quad, who are from Oklahoma, and they played, and I was just immediately like, okay, I have to listen to everything this band has ever put out, like immediately after their set. It was so good.
Hell yeah.
I always love when you have those experiences of like, you know, you see a band for the first time and you're like, okay, I know that I'm going to be hooked on this for the next month.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to what you were talking about with the last one that you played too, of like you heard it in the sound check and then it was like, oh yeah, I have to check this out.
Yeah, of course. I know.
All right. So what do we have up next?
Up next, we should have Come Hurt. It's actually, this artist is a friend of ours. The project name is Days in Writing, but we know him by Haig.
Okay.
He's Armenian. He's coolest, probably the most insane guitar player and vocalist as well. Like he doesn't need a band.
Okay.
Like it would be cool to see him with like full production, like a full band and everything. But everything he does in his songs, he does solo.
Does he play live?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Does he do like a live looping thing or just completely like...
Yeah, he does a live
looping. Hell
and
yeah.
Everything that he does live, like, you know, sounds like what you're about to hear. So he really doesn't need anybody, but like, you know, I'm curious to see how a band would be with him. But like, I also in the same breath have to think that they have to be just as good as him to perform with him, because you cannot, like, once you see him play live, you'd be like, okay, I get it. Like this guy is just like a comet, you know, like right in front of your face. And he's so good. He's a good friend. I I've met him years and years ago when I was working at the gym, and I would see him, come into the gym, and he on his shoulder he has a blue rose guitar tattoo.
Okay.
And you know, like you see like dudes with guitars and whatever, and like I kind of vetted him, or I kind of like, you know, I was like, what's up? What's your deal? You know, like I was sitting behind the desk, and he. Like, yeah, I play guitar.
Mean mug him a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. He's like, yeah, I play guitar and I do this. And I'm like, oh yeah, you play guitar? Let's jam sometime. So he like invited me over to his place. I brought my bass. I got swept that day. I was just like sitting there, embarrassed to even play. Like I couldn't even touch my instrument, and
just sitting there in awe almost. Yeah.
And I would hear him speak about like music, much how I would hear Jeremiah speak to me about music. Now it's just like Haig is so committed to his craft, and more recently he's been focusing on like really diving deep within himself, creating a sound that he's always wanted. And this is one of my favorite songs off what he just released recently. He's intense in the best ways. He's been through a lot. I love this dude. This is Come Hurt by Days in Writing.
That is so sick.
Yeah, dude, he's really just developed his sound from, you know, I've heard his earlier stuff, or I've been there when he's done his earlier stuff, but
yeah,
he just I love that he always wants to get deeper and deeper of like who he is, and just the sounds, and in this particular song he didn't like really put a solo like what I'm used to, but like this man's solo is like just nobody's business. You know, like you're walking, it's like nothing for him.
Did you say that he was Armenian?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can kind of hear that in like the vocal phrasing a little bit. Like there's something about his melodic choices that I can kind of hear that influence, and it's super cool.
Yeah, he's dope. He's super, super dope.
I also just love how dark this track is. It's just like so brooding. Like I feel like it is cinematic. It is the only like word that I can really think of. Like it feels like it belongs in a movie where somebody's just been beaten down to nothing, and this is like their like redemption arc or something. That's like exactly what's in my head this entire time.
Totally, hell
it's so cool. I'm curious about because you said that he does sort of like a live looping thing. Like are there any videos of his performances on like YouTube or anything like that I could check out?
If you could look up his Instagram, I think he has it more on his Instagram. Just look up Days in Writing, just like that. You see that artist name, or you can look up Fide. Let me see.
I feel like I have heard that name before. Did he ever release music under that?
He used to. Yeah, he used to be under HYG, which Fide. HYG_music, but his main project is called Days in Writing.
Okay.
So, he's badass. He's super, super badass.
The best live guitar player
seriously.
Acoustic, and he only plays acoustic, which is kind of a trip.
Oh, really? That's sick.
He'll bring his electric, which he rips, but like his main power is just an acoustic guitar. When he plays, sometimes it sounds he's playing a 6-string, but he makes it sound like he's playing a 12-string. It's the weirdest.
That's so cool.
Weirdest thing ever. Like nobody I know can do that. But it sounds like he's playing a 12-string the way he plays it. It's just the picking style, the way his choices. It's just like, how do you make a 6-string sound like a 12-string? Well, he can do it. So, really interesting.
Does he play in any bands, like aside from his solo project, or?
No, he's creating actually with our friend Ty, who films with us. He's been creating new things for his new music, so I think he wants a backing band. But like I said, he needs a band that is as good as him to like keep up with his.
For sure.
But from what we've seen, he's just done solo, and he's done looping, and he's just phenomenally kills it.
He doesn't need it, man. Like, he's one of those guys who like I feel like a band would almost take away.
A little bit.
Like, our strength is we're not great on any instrument. We're good, but like he's great on his guitar, and so his music's like really good too. But just him playing and how into it he gets, like.
Yeah, it's hypnotizing. It really is.
I mean, I think about those guys who are like not that he, I don't want to say like a street corner, but like somebody who's like doing something so impressive where everyone walking by is going to stop. If we're like just singing a song, you might be like, okay, it's a guy singing a song. But like him playing and doing what he does would stop you in your tracks.
Yeah.
So him just being up there, it's because everyone in the room knows, and a lot of people pick up guitar. You're like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's actually beyond my scope. So
I feel like it almost starts to border on like performance art in a way too, where it's like, different from performing a song, but almost like, the entire creation of the thing from scratch. There's something very hypnotic about all of that to me, and I always find it super cool.
If I could do it, we would not be together.
I'll tell you one thing.
He'd replace you with a looper pedal so fast.
I know.
Bye, bitch.
What High can do, like for any gig, is such a contrast to where one time him and I were playing a duo show at this one brewery years ago. And we were setting it, and we were just trying to sing songs. We felt like fucking mosquitoes. We're like singing into this mic, and like these people are like trying to like, can you turn this down? And we're just like, wait, no, hear this song. So that's the difference, you know. Like it's Haig is the man.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, moving on. What do we have up next?
Yeah, so next up is a song called "I'm Still Here" by Barry Uko. Barry is a phenomenal musician. I call him Boss. I played with Barry many years ago in a band. I was in one band with my sisters a long time ago before they fired me. Thanksgivings are weird now.
They fired you?
Oh. No, we broke up.
Mutual.
But a phenomenal songwriter, one of my favorite human beings that I've had the pleasure of knowing. We were in a collegiate music program together, traveled the world singing in choir, outstanding tenor, and similar to Gracie, put out an album fully self-produced, plays every instrument on it. You know, that's not how I like to approach music, but for both of them doing that, I have a ton of respect. You know, it just sounds exactly like how they want it to sound. Mixing it themselves,
And I think it depends on the person when it comes to that. You know, there's some people where it's the song is the thing, and so, you know, performing the song as a band, versus like some people where it's like sonically what this entire production is the thing. And I feel like that's the difference between people who can pull off the like bedroom producer playing all the, you know.
Yeah, totally.
So this song was on their debut album, I guess, this self-produced one, and it's stuck in my head all the time. I love the chorus, the shift that happens, and for being one person, it's really hard to tell. The production quality is pretty great, and I just love this song. So shout out Barry.
Dude, that was incredible, man.
Right? Talk about an anthem.
For real. Well, and you were talking about, too, that's just one guy. That sounds like a 7-piece band just, like, letting her rip. That's so sick.
Yeah, incredible frontman. Like, just a badass. Just a badass. So when I was really just playing bass and singing harmony, which I did in both previous acts, it was just the most fun. That was Barry and I and our friend Vicken on drums, and we felt like Cream, dude, like the old 60s band, just a lot of improvisation but an incredible live performer. And that song, such a big part of what we do, our crucible, is melody. Mm-hmm. It's just, did it stick with you? Who flip genre, who cares? Like, who cares about anything? It's just, what is the melody? What's the part that's going to stay with somebody? And that song, I have found since it's come out, comes into my head very often. That I'm still here, and I'm very one of my best friends, and just that. I love an anthem that is. There's kind of like it could almost have been like a really sad song, like I'm still here, but to turn that into this triumphant, like I'm still here, motherfucker, like that kind of that with the brass section, it gets a rise out of me, man, and
Well, and the crazy thing to me is the slowdown into the chorus, which, like you said, really does catch you off guard the first time. Like, not at all expecting that. But it's also crazy how it still continues to keep the momentum of the song going, even though they slow down for the chorus. It's like they slow down, but, like, it becomes, it hits twice as hard almost.
Agreed, yeah.
And... yeah, again, would not have guessed that was one dude. The bass playing was incredible. He's got some real tasty licks in there, man.
one of those musicians who does it all. Again, they pick up an instrument, they sing, and you're like, that's annoying.
All right, guess I'm throwing this in the trash.
One man.
Especially when they play it on your instrument, and you're like, I think this is just yours now. Like, I can't do that anymore.
Seriously. That's why they're the boss.
Yeah.
Lives up to the name.
I think we got one more here.
Yeah, final track. And you guys chose this one together, right?
We did.
All right.
I had another one in mind, but whatever.
No, this has actually been one of my favorite songs. When I heard it actually a while ago. It happens to be his brother.
Full nepotistic.
I know, right? I know. One thing that I find so annoying is that the entire Gray family is so phenomenal at singing, songwriting. It's just like without, like, everybody tries and to a certain degree, but it just feels like water. Like the way I see it, just flows out of them, and it pisses me off. It's like, you know how many times I had to suck just to suck? I keep sucking, and you guys have these phenomenal songs. Jeremiah, Gracie, their older sister Mary, and Joseph, they have phenomenal songs.
Jesus.
I just I'm always in awe, and this has been one of my favorite songs by Joseph.
It's a great song.
It's called Sinking. He just released this EP not even that long ago.
This is his first music he's ever put out.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
As a solo artist. And
and it looks like this came out, back in November, so not that long ago at all.
It's got a great voice, and I hope everybody likes it.
I'll never be the one to love someone. I'll never be the one to save a woman, 'cause I can't bear to be loved by someone while I'm sinking. Oh, well, I sink. Ooh, well, I'm sinking. Take me home. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. You'll never feel so at home without me. You'll never feel my touch. 'Cause I can't take away the people I loved and the things I felt when I stayed. Oh, when I stayed. Ooh, when I stayed back there in that place. Take me home, yeah. Ooh, ooh. Take me home, and I'm too high to feel so low again. I'm too high, and I won't let you be too much for me. Oh, let myself feel like I can't hide and when I know, yeah. Ooh, I take me home. Take me home, yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
He's all right.
He's all right, I guess.
All right, whatever.
Those vocal runs were really good. That
Yeah.
was more, what I was expecting when you were talking about, like, the professionally trained, or classically trained, like, singer sort of thing. But,
yeah.
I had the we both he played with us for a hot second.
He did, yeah.
I had the privilege of hearing him that song go through different iterations. But when I heard that final mix, and I don't know if I've helped him a little bit, like just with tracking, but
Okay.
I don't think I did with that one, because when I heard that "Take Me Home," that little thing, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like, that's some fucking soul, like
Yeah.
it's a real nice hook.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because that hook is going to be stuck in my head the rest of the night.
Hell
I can
yeah.
already tell.
He sort of reminds me of Leon Bridges in a way, just like that.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, he's got that, and he just kind of got that soul.
Skin tone.
Yeah.
There,
Same skin tone and everything.
With the soulful singing, like
Yeah.
similar to Gracie, he tracked all that on his own, or all bedroom style, and wanted it to feel real authentic, and delivered a great performance. And for his first run, I mean, that's blows most people out of the water. So
Well, and it's very minimalist in the arrangement, but I feel like the arrangement was used to the maximum of what you could use it for that type of song.
Sure.
Like just the bum 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 bum, like that sort of build, that's all you need to get that little bit of momentum into the chorus, and it's like you don't need anything more than that necessarily, and so it was just the perfect amount of spice on it that really lends to that song turning out
everything
how
you
it
said,
did.
Everything you just said is what I taught him.
Hell yeah.
As his big brother.
So what you're saying is really you can take credit for all of this.
Those are your words, but I don't want to.
But I won't deny them.
I don't want to argue with you. No, it's a very stripped down song. There's and there's something so beautiful about that, which has been my struggle forever. We have a song called Circus Zoo that Xavier brought. It's on our Coastal Desert Melancholy, and it's 2 chords. And I'm the cat who will be like, let me see how many chords I can throw into the song with and I've just gotten my shit torn up by Nico and everyone being complicated. Keep it simple, stupid,
Yeah.
And so I really look up to Xavier and Joseph for it is an intentional look, it's not about the busyness, it's just about what I'm saying or what I'm singing, and I don't need a lot to move you. And that's a great example of it, that song.
I have a tendency for maximalism as well, so I get it.
Thank you.
There's kind of something that just keeps drawing you to add a little bit more to it. Yeah.
Then you go play it live, and you're like, "Who wrote this?"
Why do I need a 17-piece band to play every part of it? Yeah.
So much self-resentment.
All right. So before we sign off on the episode, do you guys want to one last time sort of tell people where they can find you, what you got coming up, everything like that?
Yeah. We just want to say to you, thank you so much, man. Thank you for being so cool.
Of course.
This has been such a lovely evening.
I appreciate you guys reaching out. It's been a blast.
We appreciate you. We're honored. We started this just like how you started your project, just like with the tenacity to want something, just something a little bit more and greater and to share this with people. And we appreciate that. And again, we're the Virtual Nobodies. We sing to the nobodies, or if they feel that way, to themselves. We've definitely gone through our own, trauma in our lives, and we just want to be, I guess, that band that sends a message of, it's okay to feel that way, and we love you anyway. It's really what we stand by. We just want to sing to that. We want to stand by that and write to that as well. So, if anything, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for the kind words.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Yeah, man. I think just echoing everything X said, I think creativity is best when it's cultivating community. Like when we play a show and we get to make new friends, or see our people we know, fans who are having a night, it's kind of apart from us. We have a job to do. But I love this podcast because you take the bulk of the time to let's highlight other people. Let's talk about it. It was really exciting for us to be like,
that's the idea. Yeah.
Just people who we want to celebrate, and that mutual celebration is, kind of a wind in people's wings, in a greater way than we might fully understand. And it just takes a word, especially now with creativity, it's going in such a weird way. Just having your name out there, be like, look at these people who are in season 6, or putting it, where we're at too. It's like we've been at this for a couple of years, and it's a community. That's the biggest part.
Exactly.
And our, the name too, I meditate on it a lot. It just sounded cool initially, Virtual Nobodies, but
it does.
More and more it's grown into this thing of, I don't know, man, man, I just totally spaced right as I was about to describe it. And maybe that's the beauty of it. But in a culture that really values which we all want. Like, we want engagement, we want to make money, we want to have nice streams, you want to have nice followers, but it's a number, and the number has almost replaced your name, where it doesn't matter how well you run a podcast or what you're talking about or how good your music is. We just kind of look at a number, and it's like, that's kind of low, I'm not even going to look. And then somebody who has so the idea with Virtual Nobodies is just fuck that number. Like, you know,
I dig that.
We want to keep elevating. We want to keep, you know, playing bigger stages and to bigger crowds, because that'll demand more of us. Like, being in the studio for this new album has demanded of us. But outside of pushing us to excellence, it's just like, I love the platform that you have, man, because it's just like cool. Nico and some of the other producers on this album, they just raised this up, man. They've been in it for 30 to 50 years, and they're like, I get you. Like, come on, let's do something. Let's see what you guys are about. And you know, we got to keep doing that. So your platform, props to you, man. Fresh Finds. Like, there's a lot of people out there really working hard. And, you know, money's not the thing. It's the thing between the thing. And if it's creating something, some sort of medium to have community, we need to fight for these things, because it is getting rougher out there for to find reasons to congregate. And people who tune into this, they found one. People who come to a show of ours, they found a reason to meet new people and to experience community. So I guess I'm just kind of backslapping all of us. Yeah. Aren't we so great?
we're all amazing, man. But but I completely agree with you. You know, at the end of the day, it really is all about community and kind of, you know, getting to know other people and, you know, working with other people on your creative projects and things. Always remember to, you know, reach out to people even if you think they might be above you, because, you know, everybody's just some guy at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And on that note, make sure you listen to the new song Bona Fide, out now. Album coming later this year. This has been the Fresh Finds Podcast, the show about discovering new music with good people.
Fresh. I'm a bona fide believer in the midnight sky. I need her. Been wandering by faith, wondering which way leads home. The moon is riding high, but I'm running low on time to call you mine. I'm holding on for dear life, just to be the one holding you. 'Cause I'm a bona fide believer in the midnight sky. I need her, and I'd cross my heart and hope to die if across the stars I'd meet her. If I found the words, would it be the same as it was? Is this too good to be true? I never knew love till I knew you. Holding you, 'cause I'm a midnight sky. I need her, and I cross my heart and hope to die. If we cross the stars, I need her. Is this too good to be true? I never knew love till I knew you.